What's up, everybody? Hope you are all doing fantastic. I hope you all had a good weekend. I know we had a little bit of a annoying ending to our week last week, but you know, it was a good week. We learned a lot. We still have some really good trades that are still running. A few stoppages, but what I do like about that is any stoppages we did get, we are still sitting in the zones where we can buy back at those levels. Make sure we don't lose those coins. And it is exciting to see that, you know, we had this big pullback in the market, but Bitcoin is still on support. It still has not dropped support. We have still come to that zone. We actually had a perfect turn, and we got the higher time frame RSIs that are starting to point to the upward side. So yes, we had a pullback. We do know the significance of getting that higher high. We didn't get the higher high. We got a fake out of the market, and we had the strong pullback to the zone. But it was all about how far down were we going to go from that level. And the fact is, we've actually made a higher low still, which means that the consolidating, the accumulating stage is still a bit longer in progress. And what we do have is, you know, I took a personal little break for the last 2 days. I had the family over, I had the little brother over. He hasn't seen the ocean. He hasn't seen these things. So I decided it is in my rule book when, you know, when we have a solid week like we did and something like that does happen, I do need to take a small break. I need to recoup myself, come back strong, and have a look at the market again and get the same sort of, not same, but get a new strategy to hit this market nice and strong. And what that does for me is it made me ignore and not worry about these red candles. And now I jump in on a Monday morning. We've bounced in the perfect area we needed to bounce, which makes me not scared to be attempting these trades again, knowing my exit points and knowing the strategy we're learning along this journey. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Crypto Banter. Welcome to the best crypto channel out there. Not only do you have me every day, which comes and gives you the TA, gives you the charts, helps you with stop losses, helps you with understanding the market. We also have Random Man with the fundamentals. And what's exciting today, the 4 o'clock show is happening. The 10 a.m. EST show is happening. He's back in action. He was a bit ill. Same with Freddie, a lot with the family, but we are back. And this week we are getting back to the normal routine. So welcome to all the new guys. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Not only are you going to get the notifications every day from when I'm live, when Rand's live, when there's any emergency streams, you will also get yourself an opportunity to be a part of the Banter Bags. What are the Banter Bags? You know, guys, these are allocations that we have taken for you guys. We have put them in. We've already released our first set at 250,000 subscribers, which I think was well over $500,000 to 10 people. And we are doing it again. We are still deciding on how many people we're going to do it this time. But when we get to 500,000 subscribers, we will be giving those bags away. And guess what, guys? Not only are we giving those bags away, we're also giving you education with those bags. So anyone that has won those bags gets put into the sniper school. Now, not only if you win a Banter bag are you going to be a part of the sniper school, guys, everyone is going to be a part of the sniper school. The first goal is by the 1st of July is for us to roll out our first course, the 2 modules to the first set of 100 people. We are selecting them now on our Twitters, on our Instagram. So make sure you are following myself, Sheldon_Sniper, Crypto Manran. Follow him on Twitter as well, and follow Crypto Banter on our Instagram. Guys, if you're not aware, we have a lot of scammers out there. So if you're not sure which is the right one, I don't even have Instagram running just yet. And there's already a Sheldon the Sniper with 35,000 followers there, guys. That is not me. So make sure that any info you do get is in the description below of this video over here. Go make sure you're getting the right links and make sure you're following the right people. Secondly, I will never ask you for money. Rand will never ask you for money. We won't ask you to DM. I have to go through these things, guys, because people are getting caught. We are doing everything for free. So please do not be giving your money to anyone, be paying for these courses, anything like that. They will be free. And like I said, after this 100 people, we are hitting this course out to the masses. So every single one of you can be doing this course. And I'm telling you guys, it's not a small little course. This is like a college course, guys. We are going to be the biggest, not only crypto school in the world, we're going to be the biggest school in the world. I don't know any schools that are going to have up to 100 to 500,000 people. And I think we're going to get there in this year. I actually believe by the end of this year, we can have 1 million people in that school that's rolling. So not only the biggest crypto school, but the biggest school in the world. We plan on hitting this huge for all of you. So please hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and let's get going. Let's enjoy this journey. I hope you're learning. I know it was very annoying, our Mr. Elon Musk playing some games with us on the weekend again. Luckily, it did not affect the market too much. It did affect it, and we had our stop losses in play, and it's still the same strategy we're going to be playing. What I do love about it is our stop losses were in the correct places. Every single coin that we did get stopped at, the only one I see is Ethereum, which I'll get nice, good entries in that back on it for us, was all of them we got stopped at. We are still below the areas we got stopped at, which means it was a success stoppage. It means we are still buying the same amount of coins and we have not lost anything. All we did was protect ourselves in case something happened like previously and what we experienced, where a big drop off comes down in the markets. And, you know, all we can do is just make sure that we do have those stop losses and protect ourselves in the market. So I think let's get going. Let's have a look. How are we there? Guys, was running a little bit late. Remember, the hours are quite a bit different from where we are now, but we do have our producer, Fred, and he's going to just come in quickly and say hello. Why? I'm putting you on the spot, yeah, Fred. Everyone loved having you on Friday. What's up?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, my buddy?
Chaldina, how you bro? What's up, buddy?
I'm good, and you? It was so nice to have you on Friday, but and I think and people loved it. So I'm so glad you're getting a little bit of confidence and coming in here with us. It's really important to get different views of everyone. It's awesome, buddy.
It was fun. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit nervous, but I got into it. It was cool, and thanks to all the Banter fam for just the amazing messages and the warm welcome for my kind of first show, I guess.
It's crazy, what they actually do for us.
I'll be joining. Oh man, I mean, just like aside from the appearance and the messages about that, just, you know, regarding everything going on in my life at the moment, I have been overwhelmed with love from the Banter family. So thank you, a big thank you to each and every one of you. I love you all. I'll give you a full update in due time, but Pops is holding strong. Mom's back out of hospital. So we're just, you know, we're very hopeful that this week is going to produce some positive results. So yeah, holding tight. Thank you to everyone for the message. But Chaldina, how are you doing? What's happening?
I'm good, buddy. And I think as we're about to get on now, as much as everyone thinks that we grade you every day and jumping on these calls, you guys are awesome for keeping us going. You really, these positive messages, the support, it keeps us moving, it keeps us going. So you guys are doing more wonders than what we are actually trying to do for you guys. You don't even understand it. So yeah, Freddie, how's those likes before we start there? Let's get these likes. Let's get fired up, guys. I'm excited this week. Let's get in. I don't give up. I will never give up. We never give up. We just move our strategies and we keep going. So how's those looks? Irina in the house.
So hey, Irina, hello, my friend. Banter rig. So listen, the likes we got, we're missing 6,000 likes. So I'm going to tell you how many we have,
guys.
But I'm going to tell you how many we don't have. So
we hit those likes.
Keep smashing those likes. We need it. The more exactly. Sheldon, I love what you said about taking a couple of days off. I think the last severe drop, not this past one, but the one before, because of the Elon tweet, has left us with a little bit of PTSD. And I think, you know, when in doubt, stay out. And not having a position is still a position. And I think that is sometimes the best way to trade, and definitely gives you more peace of mind.
Yeah, and you know what? You come back fresh. I think that's the biggest thing. The over trading is the biggest nemesis of a trader. When you trade too much, and you do well, and it takes it away from you, and you try to get back at the market. If you try to fight back at this market, they're going to hurt you every single time. That's what it's designed to do. It's actually designed to get you addicted. That's what this market is designed to do, is to get you addicted, so that you can start making stupid mistakes. You're always going to make money in the beginning, and then it's going to start taking from you, and you're going to keep fighting the market back, fighting, and then all of a sudden it's just going to drain you. And then guess what? By the time the bullish momentum starts again, you burnt out. And you end up screwing everything up because you are trading you are trying to overtrade the time that you were supposed to shut off.
And you'll find that so many traders actually have that kind of PTSD from the severe drops, to the point where they're so hesitant to take a position in the market, even when technicals are sound and favorable, and the market pumps. And you come in too late. It's a vicious cycle.
No, exactly, 100%. So I think, Freddie, if you're there on the side, popping anytime, I'm going to get going. let's get moving with the market. Let's get fired up. Let's enjoy the week and let's get going. Cool. So, guys, where we're sitting now with Bitcoin. So I'm at that market now, or at that sort of point now where we got stopped at the $37,000 region, and I'm starting to ladder back in at these levels. The only thing now is I'm not crunching up to any 8%, 10% risks. I'm jumping down all the way to 4 to 5% risks because we're at that critical stage now where this was the fourth time that we have come down and we have still held this trend. So there's a lot of fight happening now at the moment. And even though we have had these little big drop-offs in the market and we keep coming down, we are actually, if I raise this top line and I raise that, do you see how we're actually still trailing upwards? And that's still a key indicator for us to know that, yes, we're having these big drop-offs. This just means that this little cool-off stage that we've been talking about for a while now is just taking a little bit longer. And that's okay. As long as we are not dropping our main danger zones, that's good. Now, all that we wanted to do is I didn't want last week when we entered Bitcoin to be putting stop losses all the way down at 32, because that means we're playing with 15, 20% risk. We actually got our Bitcoin entries in the $35,000, $36,000 region, and we got stopped out at 37, which put us at a 4 or 5% profit. And now we are actually buying back in the levels again at these zones where we can now crunch up and we can have a much shorter sort of stop loss again. But we were winning trades last week, and we had a damn tweet that came out and obviously screwed up a little bit. Let's just put that back. But we were winning. Last week was winning. And yes, the market didn't just agree with us and just go absolutely insane and bullish, but we won. The fact that it turned like that and we managed to crunch everything up and put our stop and not get actually hit quite hard in the market after a dump like that, guys, that's a success. And I know it wasn't perfect, and your perfect story on how you didn't make a crap ton of money, you survived, and you understood that you need to put that stop loss. And I know now, waking up today, it's crappy that we took maybe on some of the coins we took 1 or 2 little losses, or we took these things, but now I have my money again to make my new decisions and to start again. Other than being stuck in these coins, because what happens if we wake up this morning and Bitcoin is $20,000 and you're still in everything? Now, at least you have the power of now re-strategizing, re-looking, and re-getting back into the market. So it is a powerful thing. So what am I looking at with Bitcoin now? I see us now, we need to go and attempt for that break of that resistance again. Now we know, okay, cool, there's a resistance, cool. But we also know the significance of the higher high. So what we are starting to get is we've been crunching it down, and I want to show you here quickly that there was the first, that went a little bit low. There we go. There was the first low, second low, third low, fourth low, trailing upwards, right? There's the high, lower high. You can see how we are crunching down to a decision point in the market. Now, yes, we had the Elon tweets, but I was expecting a little bit worse. I was actually thinking that we were actually going to drop that support at any point. And the fact that people are starting to get very upset with Elon in that way is that people are not going to start taking Elon serious anymore. If he's going to keep playing games in this market and keep trying to this, eventually get to a point, Elon tweeted, who cares? Because we know that 1 week he's going to be bullish, 1 week he's going to be bearish. And he's starting to get that name about himself. And yes, it does still play a big role. He makes big movements in the market. But the more he does this, the more he plays around, the more people are going to stop trusting him. And the more it's going to stop doing a lot less movement on the actual market. So the fact that we didn't break that and we didn't show this very strong bearish momentum is good. But now, what we do have now is we know we have a seriously powerful support trend line. We know we have a really key one, which means I'm never afraid to trade in this market ever, as long as I know the key levels. So we have still, and now, my favorite part of my strategy is buying the supports. Last week we bought supports, we bought breaker trend, and you saw how powerful that was. Now with Bitcoin, it was a little bit higher, but you could see that when we finally got that pullback, look how we come perfectly down and bounce on these supports. So these are always my favorite buys when we are buying on the bottom trend support lines, because I know that this is serious danger zone that we drop at any of these points. So I'm laddering back into Bitcoin right now. And with a lot of the alts, I'm also laddering back in. And in the zone that if I'm buying back in Bitcoin, I'm only buying between 35,300 to the 36,600, more or less where we are now. And my stop loss is 35,000. 35,000 is my stop loss. We have never broken and gone below this trend. We go below this trend, it's a warning sign. It's an early warning sign, which means that I'm not scared to enter this trade. And it's a lot less of risk than what it was previously.
So Sheldon, looking at this now, what's the risk reward profile considering we're sitting at support, what is
Cool.
like the kind of risk reward ratio to start slowly scaling in now?
Exactly, and I think the big thing to understand that, Fred, is, we've had this cool down stage, and we know that nothing can just move in one straight line. Either every way we go up, we always got to come down and test. Now, the fact that we've had this huge push and this huge leg down, and we've had no real fight back at all just yet, that's why I'm still bullish. That's why I'm still looking up in the market before next year. I'm never saying that we're not going to go to 20-something thousand. Of course, Bitcoin can go there, but we need to go up first. And we need to go up to these areas, and then we can make our way down, because we haven't had a decent retracement to this big move just yet. And that was such a huge move. Having a look at that's huge. It's over $20,000 move in Bitcoin to the downward side, and we've had no decent retracement up. This is why I'm still bullish in the market, because we need the higher time frame leg up first. Remember, we've been speaking about that 48, that 40 in those regions. I need that first. And then we push down. The thing is, if we want to take longer here, and we take even longer, I'm actually more bullish the longer we take here in this region. Because if what we needed for normal impulse, we know that a wave 4 always takes a bit more time in the market. Okay, we do know that. Now, if Bitcoin just slow, we might just get to a point where it might even turn this whole damn thing around. Of course it could. We need this to start making its way up there, and still keep a little bit of momentum, and still keep the time frames not too much. Otherwise, people are going to get over it. Remember that it's an emotion market. People need to know that, if Bitcoin stays in this range forever, people are going to calm down. They're going to say, okay, maybe I should be buying Bitcoin again. But the problem is, if it keeps dropping levels and keeps scaring out, then no one's ever going to damn buy. So it needs to start making direction moves now. We need to start moving the right way. So my risk to reward ratio right now is, where I'm entering the market now, I'm looking at a 3 to 4% risk. Guys, how much better is that? Last week we were playing 10% risks, but now we're sitting at support now. Now I'm playing 3 to 4% risks, which is great. Now, out of that, so like I said, a 35,000 stop loss for Bitcoin is great for me, giving me a 4 to 5% risk, which is good. Now, remember, the breakout of the thing that I sort of figured out was when we got to that level last week, and we were talking that this is the level that we need to break. This is the area that we need to get through. Every single damn TA trader out there was saying the same thing. And when everyone is saying the same thing, it never does that exact thing. And this is why I think this shakeout came here to completely whack another thing, to liquidate a whole bunch of longs again. And now we get going again. Remember, the market is there to scare the crap out of you, scare you out there, wait for this, hit the bottom, no one's buying. Everyone's sold out at the bottom now. Now it goes up, guess where everyone's buying again? Up there. Then what do? They send it back down to those zones. So I'm still seeing Bitcoin in the next 2 to 3 weeks to the next month. We'll see if it's a gradual growth or a quick momentum move to the top. I still see it getting all the way up to these levels, which is a 33 to 30, call it a 30 to a 40% upward side from Bitcoin first, before there is even a second possibility of us going down to the next levels, to the downward side. This is the levels that I see us going up first. So risk to reward ratio, it's huge. Between a 4 to 5% risk to a thing, we're looking at a 1 to 8 to 1 to 9 risk to reward ratio. So it's still in our favor for the bullish momentum to make money in this market, definitely.
I think also that 55% drop a couple of weeks ago, it feels like months, was brutal. It was one of the worst drops we've had in the last 5, 6, 7 years. And I think it was always gonna take time to get back to those 50, 60 levels. It's going to be a 2, maybe even 3 month process. So the fact that we're gradually making our way out, we're going to break out of the pennant, hopefully test resistance, come back down, test support again. This process takes weeks. Maybe the first test would take 2 weeks just for that. So it's a game of patience. That's really what it is.
100%. And it's a game of, like we always said, as long as you've prepped for your loss, you know where your exit points are, and you know where key levels are, that if it doesn't get through those levels, where to take some profits. I think it's just a structured, like we said, Fred, that it's crap that we're in this zone. This is the hardest market. This is the hardest part to trade. I love it because there's a lot of action. I call this my learning phase, because we don't get this quite often in trading. It's always very accelerant. It's very hard to learn in these phases of trading. This is the point where it's going to teach us a lot.
If you learn how to capitalize in this stage. It's it's very profitable.
Exactly.
You can actually there's some traders I know that that have actually doubled their crypto holdings in the last 2 weeks.
Exactly that. I'm still from the original farming stages. I'm still up 20-30% on my Bitcoin. And and I think now, and it's even more now because I'm in still some of these alts. We got stopped out on a few, but there's a few of them that are absolutely rocketing still. We're going to have a look at Solana, guys. Look where our entries were last week. Look at our entry. There's my drawing still from Friday. But there was our entries last week. Guys, look at these still. Yeah. Now, has Bitcoin gone up anywhere near? Let's have a look here. 43%. Has Bitcoin gone up anywhere near that since last week? No, it hasn't. It's actually below that, which means you would have made 40% more Bitcoin by sitting in Solana for the last week. And it just shows you that we are still making Bitcoin.
How is dominance and Ethereum looking at the moment?
So dominance is looking good. So I think as I close off your Bitcoin, guys, I'm entering back in these levels. I'm still bullish in these levels because I have a close exit plan and I have a beautiful support trend line. So my stop loss is at $35,000 for Bitcoin, anywhere in that region. Remember, whoever's listened to this call, if everyone's putting at 35,000, it is going to create a pool. So do me a favor and put 34,995. Put it a little bit in that range because maybe Elon is watching these damn crypto banter shows. We never know. And so 35,000 is my stop loss, and I'm still seeing Bitcoin getting to the 40Ks, the 44, 46, 48 in those sort of regions. We just finding that perfect entry like we did with Sol, where we can sit back and say, that's where we enter Bitcoin. Now we can sit back, relax, and we can now leave it to do what it's got to do. So Bitcoin's good. I'm still very bullish there right now, the fact that we didn't drop that. And here we go. So we know we have dominance. Dominance still collapsing still. That's why we can see the alts are really pumping out today and they're looking strong. We can see dominance is still collapsing. The only thing is, I know that this was big imbalance zone for the dominance. So I need dominance to drop this. I needed to completely drop this down and keep making its way down. Then we know it's serious time. Dominance, I believe, it's going to go to 30 to 20% in dominance. Why do I say that? Because look how they are hunting. Look how Elon is hunting Bitcoin down. Now, if he's hunting Bitcoin down, doesn't mean the whole damn market is bearish. Everyone thinks that the whole market is... Guys, things are slowly starting to turn. And what I mean by that is I want to show you this quickly here. And Ethereum to Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin is bearish and this market still holds, I've seen so many guys that are still so bullish in the market, and yet Bitcoin is showing the bearish signs. Not the alts. Bitcoin is showing the bearish side. Now have a look at how this Ethereum to Bitcoin is really starting to wake up again. It's looking to go for its next run. Like right now, that perfect bounce there in that zone, and now we're making our way up. If Ethereum to Bitcoin makes a higher high now, guys, I see it going all the way up to these levels up here. And then I see it going all the way up to those levels. So if Bitcoin's going to keep playing around and it's not going to show bullish momentum in the market, the money's going to start moving out of Bitcoin and continue this strong run that we're having in the market, but in other coins. And which is one that they're showing us a huge interest in over here is Bitcoin, Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. Now, if we have a look here, we can see that if we want to rally to our first position over there, okay, it's a little 10%. But then we have the main one there, 60%. Then we have the next one, 100%. Do you see now that if Bitcoin's going to keep playing games, money's going to stop? People are getting bored. They're getting annoyed with Bitcoin. They're getting irritated with Bitcoin, that every time Bitcoin dumps, everything flip and dumps. What can that only mean in the market? It means the money's going to start diversifying out of Bitcoin. It's going to start moving now into the other coins. It's going to start getting now into your Ethereums and these. And what? I've seen a few things that something like this can flip the Ethereum to Bitcoin. Because how could it happen previously if Bitcoin's pumping? How are we ever going to get the flip? Something like this, where the market gets annoyed with Bitcoin, where Elon Musk is against Bitcoin. That all of these things are against now, and yet now look how Ethereum is waking up from this. Look how Ethereum is breaking up, and look how that dominance is still weak, which means, guys, the dominance is not on Bitcoin's side. The dominance is not supporting Bitcoin right now. It's supporting the alts, and which makes sense. Bitcoin is the, crypto gold in the market. Doesn't mean the world's going to run on it. It means that's just going to be the holding value. It's going to be your savings. It's going to be like gold, like we use today. But what's going to be the spending? What are we going to use for companies to run off of it? What are schools going to run off of it? What is everyone going to run off of this in the market? And that's where your Ethereum, your DOTs, your Solanas, all of these come into play. And I'm really feeling that the market's getting to the point where they're getting tired of Bitcoin. And if that doesn't work anymore, and and people start getting tired of Bitcoin, but the market is still bullish in a way, guys, they just had the biggest Bitcoin event now in Miami now over the weekend. And yet a tweet came out and the market turned a little bit bearish. Guys, you can't tell me that we are not bullish in the crypto market. We are very bullish in the crypto market. I saw that Floyd Mayweather, all of them, he loves Ethereum. You got one of your richest stars and he loves Ethereum. Guys, the stars are talking about these things. And they're not just focused on Bitcoin anymore. They're focused on Litecoin. They're focused on Ethereum. I'm starting to see a big shift in people's mentality. So if Bitcoin doesn't start playing games, does not mean that the whole market is just going to be draggy and slow. It means it's going to start shifting. People are going to start getting annoyed with Bitcoin, and let's start getting into the other damn projects. And we can see that clearly. So dominance, we had a key level. I will see by tomorrow if we're going to bounce in these zones. Otherwise, if we drop that low, guys, we're about to have a screamer. And doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to go to 60K now or anything. It means that these alts are going to absolutely outperform Bitcoin tremendously. It means by holding these alts, we are still in that same mindset. We are making Bitcoin. And that's the important thing to understand. All of those alts we took last week, we have made Bitcoin. And that's the power of understanding where we are. So dominance still to make its way down. Let's jump into Ethereum. Guys, Ethereum's looking bullish. And I've actually started laddering a bit back into Ethereum. And the reason being is we are now breaking. Look where Bitcoin is. It's not even near breaking that trend again. Look how far we are still from breaking that trend, that previous fake out that we had. Now look at Ethereum. Ethereum's right down there. Ethereum is making a higher high now. That previous little wick out there, we didn't get the higher high. But now we are breaking that and we're making a higher high. So now Ethereum is starting to wake up. Guys, I'm very bullish on Ethereum. From this morning and having a look and updating all my charts, I'm very bullish on Ethereum. And the main thing I do know with Ethereum is if we shouldn't come back into these pennants again. It's still the same pennant. So what I am doing is I'm laddering in Ethereum on the zone because this is what I see. I see Ethereum testing a little higher high, a little pullback, and a continuation down. So this is my buy zone for Ethereum right now. Between 2,750, 2,850, this is my stock up zone on Ethereum. And my stop loss is sitting at 2,680. There's my stop loss in that zone there. It's below the support trend, the powerful trend that we know is there. So yes, we got stopped out with some of our Ethereum, but I'm not scared to get back in. I needed to be sure. I needed to make sure that this market wasn't going to dump. And now I can trade and get back in. And what's that doing for me now? It's giving me a 5% risk again. So it's a lot less than last week's. Now, where's Ethereum's next targets? We have huge imbalance still sitting at 3,200 to 3,600. And then we obviously have the tops. Now, if Ethereum to BTC continues in this way, and we smash that high there, guys, we're going to have a huge explosion out of Ethereum, and it's going to push strong, which can actually take Ethereum back to its previous highs. And from that level, then, that's huge gains from where we are now, where we know Bitcoin is taking its damn time. So Ethereum, I'm very bullish on. I'm buying in these zones. 2,750, 2,850, I'm buying Ethereum. My stop loss, 2,680. It's smaller stop losses. And we will then see as the week progresses, we'll be moving those stop losses up again. Same strategy. I'm telling you, when we get this strategy and we get that strong push up, you're going to understand that we just protected ourselves last week. But I'm not scared to get back in, and the same procedure, the same strategy, we are doing that again. So Ethereum, I'm very bullish on. Reason why I'm also hugely bullish here is look at this Ethereum dominance, guys. It is completely turning, and Ethereum is looking to really push. And maybe this is the turn where Ethereum outflips Bitcoin. Maybe, but the signs are there. Things are starting to show. People are annoyed with Bitcoin, and here comes Ethereum exploding. So the dominance is showing that Ethereum is outperforming a lot of the alts. It's really outperforming in the market. So Ethereum, I'm very bullish on. Having a look at DOT, guys. DOT as well. We should still be in on DOT. Everyone should still. I said put your stop loss at entry points. We're still in on DOT, and we're still 12% ahead. Look how beautifully we came down with DOT, and we tested this support, and now we are bouncing strongly off the zone. So DOT, I'm expecting now. Why am I saying that? There's the trend line. There's the break. There's the test. Where do we usually buy? In that zone. So if you did buy DOT and you want to buy a little bit more, or remember to diversify as well, guys. Remember that we're using our shopping list and everything as well. So I'm buying a little bit of Bitcoin. I'm buying some Ethereum. I'm buying a little bit of DOT. You know what I mean? I'm not going everything into DOT, everything into this, everything to that. I'm splitting a good portfolio, and I wouldn't, for my advice now, no financial advice, by the way, I would be going between 5 to 8 coins, good coins for this run, because I know some of them I'm going to be switching to each other because some are not going to perform. And that's just where we are at the moment in the market. So a stop loss update for the guys that got in last week with DOT is to move it to around 22.5, anywhere under this trend line that we have. And for anyone that's entering in the market now, buying DOT between $24, $25 is a good buy. Guys, we haven't tested any of these imbalances. Nothing can just go in a straight line. We can't. We have to at least come and test that, and then we can go down to lower targets, which means we have all these damn gains to still be made before we have to worry about a bearish scenario, which is still a good 34 to 45% upwards in the market. And that's working off the lowest scenario. Maybe we even get to the tops. So DOT, $24 to $25. I'm stuck getting back in. I'm laddering in a bit more. I still have from that original entry. And a good stop loss is around about 23.8 under these wicks here. Now, do you see how much less risk that actually is? That's a 4% risk. Great risk, guys. What's our reward? 40%. That's a 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio. That's a good trade to be making. So DOT is still a good buy for me and where we're sitting. Cardano, same thing. We have bounced perfect over here. Look how much smaller our stop losses are this time. So I know we had a pullback in the market, but look now how much less risk we're using, and we're buying literally at the bottoms, which is good. If this is the bullish scenarios, we are in right at the bottom, and we have minimal risk. So the same thing with ADA. I know we had a small stoppage there. I'm buying back into ADA in these zones here. Anywhere between 1.68, 1.73. It's still the original buy zones we had even last week. That's where I'm getting back in the market. I haven't lost coins. I'm getting back in, no problem. And there's my stop loss, which is basically 1.65. 1.64, 1.65. That is my stop loss, which is also a 4 to 5%. That's great. Now, we also have huge imbalance in these top areas here. So Cardano, I still see a solid 30 to 40% coming. That's a 1 to 10 risk to reward ratio. So quick recap, 1.68 to 1.73 is my buys for Cardano. Stop loss at 1.65. Minimal risk, great trade to make. Guys, so look at this. This is a beautiful test. Look how we literally come, and I want to zoom in and show you guys the power of these trends. There's that trend line. Look how we literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look how we run on this trend line. You can't tell me the power of understanding these trends and detecting where we are in the market. So same thing here. Anywhere between 396 to 405 is a buy for BNB. And we're putting a stop loss at 385. Great, great, great. That means that's a 3 to 4% risk. Minimal risk. Here's our gains. Our gains are to 480 to the $530 mark. We're still in our BNB from these regions. So those who are still in from last week's entries, we're still looking really, really good with 27% profit. Move those stop losses to about 360, 365 in that sort of region, or even the same ones that I'm putting at these zones over here. Lift it up. Make sure you take profits no matter what. So BNB is still a buy for me. Like I said, 396 to the 405. Good buys. Stop loss 385. My take profits 480 to the 520. 600 to the $660 region. That's that. So BNB, I'm so happy to wake up on a Monday and we have bars sitting in the bar zones, not where we have to wait for them like we did last week. Now they're in the bar zones, guys. You're watching the show, go buy. Put your damn stop loss in play and keep watching the show so I can keep helping you update that stop loss as we progress. Link is not a buy right now. We're still stopped. We're still going to get it back where we need to get it, but I'd rather buy it on this side of the line. I'd rather wait for the higher high, the push. We'll buy it exactly back where we either got stopped or even cheaper, and we'll get back in. So Link is not a buy just yet. Solana is not a buy at all just now. For those who are in Solana, put your stop loss up to 37, which means no matter what happens in the market, you should still be sitting with at least 21 to 22% more profit with Solana. So update your stop loss to 37. That's good. Kusama as well. There's no real buy on Kusama just yet. I'd rather not risk it for those. Just put your stop loss at $370, which means you are making 20% no matter what on Kusama. Okay, so one that is a buy right now as well is Uni, guys. Have a look at this. Now, why am I saying Uni? Remember that when we break these trends and we still run in this sideways stage, firstly, we held our original buy zone. This is the buy zone we were talking about last week. Okay. But now if we have a look here, I take a small trend line, boom. What are we doing? We're breaking out right now in the 4-hour. This is a buy, guys, and we know that we shouldn't come below. So now my uni bars are looking like this. Very small, very accurate, very shortened down. And I know where my stop loss should go. So stop loss for this trade is 25.5. Our entries are anywhere between 26.3 to 27 in that region. These are good stock up zones for uni. Uni's done absolutely zero since we've actually had this big dump offs in the market. So uni, I see us at least making our way to 37, 41 in that sort of region over there. So if we look at risk to reward ratio from where we are now, 40 to 53, guys, it's a 1 to 10, 1 to 12 risk to reward ratio. So uni is still looking good. VET, also, it can be a buy now. You're just going to have to tighten up. So for those who are in on VET last week, you should still be in some decent profits, at least. I want you to be moving that stop loss now to about 12.5. Okay, because it is a very vulnerable coin right now when anything turns in the market. So 12.5 cents is a good stop loss. And that means for anyone that wants to, it's in a buy zone now. To show you this why, we have a look at the trend. We're about to break trend on those top zone over there as well. If I take the sharper one, we've broken, we've tested, we're looking to push up. So anywhere now between, call it 12.9 to 13.3, nothing out of that zone is a good entry for VET. And your stop loss, at least in the region of 12.2 in that sort of region for your stop loss. And if we have a look, that's minimal loss. And obviously we have a lot of gains. You can see where my TPs are. They are very high. So VET, I still see a huge amount of growth coming. One, we are not getting in yet. I know we got stopped out of Matic. We're not getting in it just yet. We will be getting back into it when it's ready. Theta, guys. Theta, we should all be smiling. All the guys that got into Theta, you're sitting in 27% profit still from last week. So Theta is still looking good. No entries on Theta just yet. Stop loss update, 8.4 is a good stop loss. Tfuel. Who got into it, guys? Who got into it? Great entries last week. We even came down the second time. You should be 40% up on Tfuel. You should have made at least 40% more Bitcoin just by being in Tfuel for the last week. So, guys, are you starting to see something? Bitcoin's looking weak, but the alts are looking strong. And yes, some alts took a little bit of bigger drops than other, but are you starting to see that this might be the flip? This might be something that people are getting tired of Bitcoin and it's play around games. And look where the money's diversifying, which means we should still be making damn money. Even though Bitcoin had a little bit of growth last week and we had a big pullback in the market, you'll still be 40% up by being in this coin. And 20%, a lot of our coins did 20, 30% still now to where we are now. So it just shows you where we're sitting. So Tfuel, no entries. Just put your stop loss up at 40 cents, which means you've made 20 something, 30% no matter what. And when there's new entries, we'll let you guys know. Okay, guys, I'm buying a little bit more. And it's my last little bit that I'm buying here in Doge. Just because of this whole Elon thing, I'm sort of testing it out. And where I'm basically looking at is this is where I need Doge to start making its way up strong. So it still can pull back a little bit more down. And if we have a look at, so anywhere 36 cents, 37.2 is still my buy zones, and my stop loss is at 34 cents. So this one's a little bit 8%, a little bit higher risk, but I'm actually going to hold Doge for a little while because it still has huge imbalance areas. It hit the first, but it was very quick. So for the price to go there again makes sense. And we have the much higher one, which is sitting up at that zone over there, which will be a good 100% from where we are now. So Doge is a good one. We're entering in the zone. Don't enter above 37.5, 38 cents. It's too high. Enter where we are now and make sure you have those stop losses in play. The other ones here, Luna, I'm going in again, okay? Because I don't want to lose the coins that I got stopped out for. So wherever we got stopped out is where we're buying Luna straight back, which means we haven't lost anything. As long as you didn't lose your damn coins, you haven't lost the trade. It was just there to protect. So I'm buying back the same amount of coins that I bought of Luna that I had previously. And now my next stop loss is at 5.9. Call it $6 is where we're looking at. So it is still 7-8% risk, but this one I really see a strong explosion. So Luna, I'm back in. I don't want to lose my coins. I'm buying back my coins, and I'm obviously putting my stop loss in play. GRT, it had a pullback, but we smashed a higher high there, guys. This was really good. So GRT is still a good buy, 80 cents to 82, and a good stop loss. We did get stopped out at 80 cents, which is good, which means I'm buying back very similar from where I was. So I'm getting back in these zones, and I'm putting my stop loss at around 78 cents in that region for GRT. Remember, GRT is not a huge one on our list. It is a really good coin. So this will be in my 10 to 15% of my portfolio region in the smaller coins, but good fundamental coins. This is where I'm buying that portion. So I'm not going massive in it, but I am adding it to my portfolio. And the last one that's about to take off is Arweave. Also buying back from where we got stopped. And this one also in my smaller portion of my portfolio, but also massive gains to be made here. So anywhere now between 16.6 to 15.8. And my stop loss at 15.4 in that region over there. I'm stocking up on Arweave for the push that takes us up here, which is a good, 60, 70, 80% in that region. So that's good risk to reward ratios, guys. Tomorrow we update the stop losses. We move up in the market. We keep them going. I'm glad I took a little bit of rest on the weekend. I feel good today, and I feel good for us to hit this market strong again. I spent time with the family. I had a good day. Freddie, my man, are you there to say goodbye to everyone as we can prep for the next show?
Absolutely, yeah. No, thanks for that. I was actually taking some notes while you were going through them there. Yeah, awesome. I think just trade carefully. The fact that you mentioned earlier that Bitcoin's not, we're still within the pennant. It's great. We're sitting on support. Risk reward ratio is looking favorable. But I think my only concern is the fact that there was a big announcement regarding the legal tender for Bitcoin for El Salvador, and there wasn't much of a response. So, we do need to make sure the volume comes through. We do need to make sure that the market's not exhausted. But I think, there was a huge conference. So let's see what news comes out. Let's see what happens. Personally,
and I think the big thing as we're closing off there, Freddie, is this dominance. I understand if the news keeps coming down negative on Bitcoin, but if this dominance keeps dropping, it doesn't mean that there's a market not to be traded.
Yeah,
it means you're making Bitcoin by sitting in a lot of these alts, and I think the power of understanding that's still huge. So
I think the question is whether if something happens to Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes to the downside. I think it's gonna take the market with it, but we just need to keep an eye on that dominance. I think it's decision time. The next couple of days, I think get some good entries, get some tight stops, but I'm feeling good about this week. I don't know about you.
Very happy, yeah. No, I'm not scared. I got structure. As long as I got an exit plan, I got my plans. I'm never scared to trade the market. Remember, consistency wins the race, not just in and out. This is where, and I was actually chatting about it this morning, this is where they're going to scare all the newbies out in the market. This is where they're going to get rid of all the new people that are in the market now. This is where you're going to get scared off and you're going to hate crypto and you're never going to come back. Well, you think you're never going to come back. But when you're going to come back? When Bitcoin's $100,000. Then you're going to come back. And then you're going to go through this again because you've just entered the market now at the top again. You come down, you're going to go through this. This is where they're shaking out all the retail guys because only the investors are buying here. The big guys are buying here right now. They don't want retail to buy now. They want no retail. They don't want any normal person to be buying Bitcoin right now. They don't. They want to be buying. They want you to buy it at $50,000 and at 60 and at 80. That's exactly what they want. And then they go dump on you. So if you're getting through the stage with me and you're fighting through the stage, you starting to trade on the right team. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, look at the pennant from last week. They had that fake out. So we had a breakout, and then obviously there's a tweet. There's also the considerations of these childish tweets that we need to keep in mind. I did mention that last week. But, don't get chopped to the top and pay the pump tax because, think in weeks and months. This is a stage where we're in accumulation. So let's accumulate. Let's think like a whale. And don't bet with money you can't afford to lose because obviously if things go to the downside, if you have a good stop loss, that's fine. But you're still going to take a knock. You're still going to take a knock over and over and over if it keeps doing that. So trade responsibly and think longer term.
And I think just to close it off here, Fred, everyone that entered trading 2 months ago, you all bought here. Okay, which means you bought the pump. You literally bought at the bottom. Even though we are having a bit of a difficult stage here, do you see where you're buying for the first time? You're buying a special. And you may not see it right now, and you may not understand it right now, but bigger picture, when we look back in a year's time and we see the chart and the next leg has played out to the top, look where you bought for the first time. You weren't the normal guys that bought and then the normal retail guys that bought there. You've been buying here and you've been stocking up here. So it may seem a bit difficult now and a bit of a choppy situation now, but this is where you've been stocking up. You're buying at the right times. We're just making sure these are the lows, but you're learning in these areas. And you know what? You'll soon see in the future how it becomes. So guys, Have an awesome day. Have a great day. Put those damn stop losses in play. I'll see you all tomorrow. What's exciting, in 1 hour's time, I have the private session with all of our winners, which are having 1 hour live session with me. Another cool announcement, guys, is all these shows that we're going to be doing now that will be recorded and it will be put onto YouTube. So it won't be live to the world, but we will be pre-recorded and they will be put out for everyone. So you can go have a look at these shows that we've been doing, give you a nice sneak peek of the crypto school, and let you also learn along all these journeys as well. So we are doing that now. I'm very excited for that. Cool, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe one more time. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. And I will see you all a bit later. Put your stop losses, trade well, and I will see you later, guys.